My 78 KZ project is underway. I've made some decisions on where I want to go with this. And as you can see, it's already been started. So I'm going to swap out these ball bearings and get some tapered roller bearings in there. And I'll be popping those races out here soon and getting the new ones pressed in. I decided to go with a spoked rim on the back. So the hub is all cleaned up. I've already got the stainless steel spokes and they're polished up. The rim has arrived and I've dropped it off at Performance Cycle in Hammond to get laced up. And I am now moving on. I've made my list of things to kind of get me started. And I'm going to start with doing a rebuild on my shocks. I got new seals, and then I also bought new controls because these are not looking very good, and I don't think there's very much cleanup that I can do on those to bring those back to life. I made a list of stuff, including brake parts, and some of these things are kind of crusty. I don't know if I can salvage these or not. I'm going to try to. I'm going to take them apart and see if I can get the pistons out and cleaned up, and I will attempt rebuilds. So parts have been ordered from Z1 Parts, and they are always my first choice. If they have the parts available, I get them from them because their part prices are always the best. They don't carry everything, but they do carry a lot, and what they do carry is priced very competitively. So my box of parts has arrived. I am just at a point now to where I can start tearing things down and getting things back together. Hopefully it goes without too many problems. These master cylinders were dry, so apparently brake fluid dries up, but I didn't know that it would do that. But everything's dry and rusty, and turns out this bike has points, which I don't really have any experience with points because my bike's got electronic ignition, and I think I'm going to end up buying electronic ignition for this one too, with new coils, and we'll worry about those later. But right now I've got enough to do with the parts that I've got. So the controls will go on, my seals are going to go in there, and while I got all these apart, I'm going to polish this aluminum up to some degree. I probably won't go too crazy with it, but I like it shiny. It'll stay shiny for a little while. So this is my front rim. I'm not really sure how much of this I can clean up. I'm going to take that tire off, and I'm going to see if I can squeeze this thing into my vapor blaster. And if I can, I should be able to get all that grime out of that wheel hub, and maybe even off of these spokes a little bit too. Maybe I can save this thing, because other than that, it looks pretty good. I think I can get all the grime off of that chrome rim, and then it'll match my new spoked rim, which is going to be a little wider. I went with a 4 1/4 inch rim ring, which I'm planning on putting a 140 millimeter tire on the rear. So it's going to be wider than this. I probably have to do a little modification. I might have to take off the chain guard because that thing, it rides pretty close to the tire as is. But that's stuff that I can worry about when those pieces come back. Right now, just to keep myself oriented, I'd like to sectionalize off these projects. So I'm going to start from the front And I'm going to get that done, and then I will start moving my way back. And I think once I have everything done, I will move on to this engine. And I'm probably going to end up pulling it out, taking it fully apart, and put everything in that blast cabinet apart, and I'm going to clean it up, and then I'll put it back together. And I hope I can do that without a lot of broken bolts. I've already broke a bolt off of my starter cover because it was just seized up in there and it wouldn't move, and all it did is spun the bolt and ripped it. So I'm going to try and get that out of there and get a helicoil in it, and it should be back in business. But this is where I'm at. There's still lots of stuff to make lists for. I gotta get new mount for my gauges. I'm gonna get new face plates for these gauges so that I get like a nice red line on there. Everything will come with new grommets. I already got this cover. So this is missing the back piece, but the set comes with a front and a back piece. This one does not have the back, did not come with it. So I just bought front and back. So that's what's happening. Some of the stuff will get powder coated, some of it's going to get rebuilt, some of it's going to get replaced. I don't think I'm going with the stock foot rests anymore. I may go with some kind of forward controls, or maybe I'll just put some drag pegs on there. But okay, well, this is where I'm at, and I'll put an update on my progress in a week or so. All right.